What's going on, guys? This is Zach Adkins, and in this video we're going to talk about should you meet your heroes or not. Let's get to it. Okay, so a couple weeks ago I made a video talking about VIPs and everything like that. The video blew up. It's super awesome. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. As I'm reading the comments and stuff like that, one of the main comments that I saw was about not meeting your heroes. It was like, I swear it was everywhere. It was just like this is why you should never meet your heroes, or meeting your heroes is a bad idea. You're never going to get what you want out of these people. So what are you, all of these like different perspectives, which I appreciate the perspective in the comment, but it got me thinking, like, should you or should you not meet your hero? Of course I say, like, hey, this is America. You can do whatever you want. Is there a benefit or is it detrimental to meet your heroes? And I guess, like, my opinion on the whole thing, I'm very strongly opinionated about it, is that you should absolutely meet your heroes. The reason that I believe you should is because if you have somebody that, inspired you in your life, and, maybe it was, like in my instance, a guitar player or something. I met Ace Frehley. Was it the greatest experience I've ever had in my entire life? No, not necessarily, and I've talked about that in the other videos. Like, he could have been a little more excited to meet me considering how much I paid and all that stuff. It is what it is. I would have regretted it more not doing the meet and greet with Ace Frehley than I would have if he would have died and I would have never gotten the chance. Just even if it was a bad experience, which it really wasn't a bad experience, it just wasn't like, a super great one on that instance. But, I got a guitar out of it. It's right here, and he signed my arm. I got a tattoo of his signature here with the little ace card that he drew. It's super cool. And so that to me is important. It's just like to be in the presence of somebody that I've been watching since I was a child is worth it. So, like, in my opinion, it's like in my instance of having a musician that I appreciate and is my quote unquote, in this instance, a hero. It's like, I feel like I should do it. Whether or not it works out in your favor or whatever, I think, like, or they're happy about it or not happy about it, or you leave with this thing. I think the only thing you have to make sure you do is tailor your expectations a little bit to say, it's probably not going to go as great as you think. They're not going to look at you and go, oh my God, you're my best friend. As long as you go into it saying, like, look, this is somebody that I've admired. All I want is a little piece of their time to thank them and to appreciate them in person so they can hear my story. A guitar player that I've watched when I was younger, and I was really sick when I was in high school, and he knows this story because I told him. His name is Ron Jarzombek. I told him, like, I was really sick when I was in high school. They thought I had, like, cancer. They thought, like, there was all this crazy stuff going on, and I was like a wreck. I was out of school for like 2 months or something, and I dropped like 40 pounds. It was really bad. I was really sick. I got into this one guitar player's music. It was just kind of like the thing that I looked forward to was like listening to his songs or whatever, and it kind of inspired me on the guitar to like pick it up. Whatever it was about his songs and his, style of playing, I just absolutely was like enthralled by it. It was like, that's getting me through. And I was so sick all the time, man. It was a bummer. Like, looking at the guitar was not even like in my mind at that point, but it made me want to think about music differently. It like changed my whole course of how I decided to play guitar. Luckily, I didn't have cancer and I got better. It was just kind of an illness that I was going through and whatever, I'm fine. Later on in my life, I had, friends on Facebook with this guy. I got on the phone with him once, promised myself I would tell you this story if I ever got on the phone with you. And I told him that story. I went into more depth, of course. At the time he was just like, wow, thank you for letting me know that story, basically. And he was like, I've never heard anybody say that about my music, and that means a lot to me. That's what he said. That means a lot to him. So it's like, I got to share something with one of my, at the time when I was younger, like that, one of my guitar heroes since I was like 16, and I told him that this changed everything, and he was appreciative of it. And now we're pretty good buddies. He'll call me randomly. I'll call him randomly. There's a bunch of texts back and forth, and it's just a great experience. And he's a great guy. So it's like, okay, never meet your heroes, but it's like, well, I did, and it worked out great. Another one would be when I took Paul Gilbert to the zoo. It was such a random thing, and if you haven't seen that story, you can check it out over here. That was super random. We had a whole freaking day of just hanging out, walking around, checking out the animals, had some food, took back to the venue. He like brought me into the VIP, the meet and greet thing. I was talking with everybody. It was an amazing experience. There are instances where it might not go that far, but you have to like shoot your shot. The ball is in the other person's court at that point to say, hey, I appreciate it, or I don't really care, I don't want anything to do with you. That is what it is, but you have to do it. You have to say, this person is somebody that's important, and I'm going to tell them that they're important to me. I just don't believe in the whole idea of like, don't ever meet your heroes. That's kind of a weak way of thinking about it. It's like, you don't want to meet your heroes because what if they turn out to be, you know, an asshole or a dick or not what you expected? And it's like, what if they don't? What if they turn out to be exactly what you expected, or they turned out to be not what you expected? It just is what it is. How you handle it is really what's gonna dictate how well it went. With Ace Frehley, it was more like I spent $3,500 on the VIP meet and greet, and it was kind of like, you know, treated as an inconvenience rather than treated as like, man, I can't believe you did that. I appreciate you being a fan, and, you know, I'm really excited. Now, of course, he's 75 years old. It is what it is. I didn't expect I was going to become best friends with Ace Frehley. That's never been the expectation. And I actually told my wife when we went, I said, I'm not sure what I'm expecting. He could be a total weirdo. He could be a total dick, but I don't care. I'm going to meet Ace Frehley. And some people will say, God, $3,500, that's a lot of money to spend, or, you know, a fool and his money, and it's like, mother, I was gonna frickin' spend the $3,500 either meeting Ace Frehley or buying a Kiss pinball machine to match all the other Kiss stuff that I have. So it was gonna get spent either way. I'm glad I met Ace Frehley rather than getting a pinball machine, because I can go get a pinball machine now, and I got to meet Ace Frehley, so it's like one or the other anyway. I'm kind of getting off topic now. Meeting your heroes, I think you should do it. I think you absolutely should, and I think people that say you don't, those people, they're not ready to be disappointed, and it's like, so what? Like, then you're just missing out on everything. You know what I mean? It's like, don't go talk to that pretty girl, because what if she doesn't want to date you? It's like, so you just don't talk to girls, I guess. Or in the instance of like women, like, don't talk to that guy, because what if he makes fun of you or something? Why would you live your life that way? You know, there's a lot of opportunity out there, and you need to just say, hey, I'm willing to take the risk that this may or may not work out, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I believe that even if it's a disappointment for me, it was a learned experience. It was something I can take with me. It's a story. It's whatever. I love it. I'm going to keep talking to people that I appreciate as far as like musicians and stuff like that. I would just suggest that you do as well, and don't listen to people who tell you that, you know, you shouldn't meet your heroes and that you should just stay sad all the time. The one thing is, like, if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, don't just abandon the person, you know, like, you got to separate the artist from the art. And like, I'm still listening to Ace Frehley shit. I got it on my Spotify. I'm listening to the new album, the old album, still have all my Kiss stuff. I didn't come home and go, "Man, you didn't talk to me for more than 5 seconds and I'm going to burn my whole Kiss catalog." Be an adult about it and say, you know what? I got to meet the guy, and that's the end of the story, or the girl, or whoever you wanted to meet. That's the end of it. That's what I wanted. I made my goal happen. Whatever is out into the universe happens out into the universe. Should you meet your heroes? Absolutely. Quit listening to people that are so negative and so scared to meet somebody that they just don't want to be disappointed, and then they just give up on any kind of life experience and or having any kind of fun, it seems. Go do it. You only live once. Go for it. Do it and have a good time. Let me know if you ever met your hero, or if you regretted it, or if you loved it, or if it worked out great. Maybe you're best friends. Maybe they were in your wedding, and I don't know. Definitely subscribe to the channel, like, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.